Welcome to Street Sport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your Monday Night Raw results and Superstar spoilers, and also some brief news going around the wrestling world, and birthdays, of course. And two deaths happened this week. Mexican star, former WCW Mexican star Hector Garza, who spent time in both WCW and TNA, has passed away after a battle with lung cancer. He would have turned 45 next month. In October 2012, Garza announced that he had been diagnosed with lung cancer, and he retired and began chemotherapy. We would like to send our deepest condolences to his family and friends. Personally, he was one of my favorite cruiserweights in WCW, and he will be missed. Despite the popularity of his theme song dwindling, WWE officials are pleased with Fandango's progress. Vince McMahon, who sees the Fandango gimmick as a pet project of his own, is also said to be pleased with the way things are going. It's not only the gimmick that is getting high marks backstage, as his in-ring work of Johnny Curtis is also receiving some praise. WWE agent Terry Taylor, who previously worked for TNA before being brought back to WWE by Triple H to work in developmental, took Curtis under his wing in developmental and made him one of his pet projects also. Fandango's success has shut up some of Taylor's critics that questioned his ability to help develop new talent. Ring of Honor reportedly told Mike Mondo, who worked in WWE as part of the Spirit Squad, that he is no longer being booked for the promotion, so he has been released. And they made a decision after Mondo was considered to be in no condition to participate in a recent Ring of Honor clinic. Mondo returned to the promotion in March after suffering a broken leg last year. It's being believed by some that he rushed things, which may have contributed to his problem at the clinic. And that source came from PWInsider.com. Justin Gabriel had a discussion in his travel schedule in which superstar he wants to battle during a recent interview with Tonight in South Africa. My main belief is with Wade Barrett, Gabriel said. You know, us South Africans, we don't get along with the British, so we are cashing in on that. WWE star Alberto a.k.a. Alberto Rodriguez, turned 36 years old. He was born on May 25th, 1977. Del Rio will celebrate his birthday in Regina, Saskatchewan at the SmackDown Live event. Fairly certain that is the only people who would verbally express a desire to celebrate his birthday in Regina all suffer from the same speech impediment. Roman Reigns, a.k.a. Liadi Joseph Anoy, I hope I pronounced it. Okay, she wants to get her excuse me in. She can go sit down, please. Or sit down with me. Okay, well, sit down with Daddy. He turned 28 years old. He was born May 25th, 1985. Reigns also played the defensive tackle for Georgia Tech. He was later signed with the Minnesota Vikings and Jacksonville Jaguars of the NFL and was on the Edmonton Eskimo practice roster. He signed a WWE developmental deal in 2010. Reigns is the son of the WWE Hall of Famer Sika of the Wild Samoans. His brother Matt wrestled as Rosie in WWE. Hector Solano Segura, who wrestled as Hector Garza, died Sunday at the age of 43 following a battle with lung cancer. I know I said that earlier. There's different reports. Okay, sit down, please. Okay, I'm doing this video, so pay attention. If you want to help me do the video, then help me do the video. Garza had revealed his lung cancer diagnosis publicly last October. He retired from in-ring work and underwent chemotherapy. He worked mostly in Mexico for the CMLL and AAA promotions. Right over here. He also worked WCW, TNA, and WWF events in the United States. Dark main event from Raw television show Advertises John Cena versus and Alberto Del Rio. That you can't see me.
You can't see me.
Tag teaming with Alberto Del Rio versus Ryback and Dolph Ziggler. But appeared to be dated advertising rather than the indication that Dolph Ziggler is returning. Well, last week, Jack Swagger took Ziggler's spot in the dark match tag team main event. TNA executive Eric Bischoff, turned 58 years old on May 27, 1955. When he was born, Bischoff works directly with Spike TV on behalf of TNA and plays a role in creative and production. WWE diva Natalia, a.k.a. Natalie Catherine Neidhart, turned 31 years old. She was born May 27, 1982. It'd be interesting to see what they do, anything with Hart family. Member in Calgary on her birthday on Raw. TNA agent Pat Kenny, who wrestled as Simon Diamond, turned 45 on Saturday. He was born May 26, 1968. Former diva Ashley Massaro turned 34. Turned 34 on Sunday. She was born on May 26, 1979. The following matches are advertised for the 8 p.m. Central airing time of the AWA on ESPN Classic. Caitlin, please sit down. You're going to get hurt. Gene Kinitsky and Kevin Kelly versus Chip Van Horn and Jake Milliman. Steve-O and Ricky Rice versus Dennis Stamp and Samoa. Tom Stone versus BJ Strong. Sold at Unisoft. Houston versus Dennis Stamp. The Midnight Express versus Midnight Rockers. Following matches were at 9 p.m. Central airing time of the UWF. On ESPN Classic had Black Knight in action. Dan Spivey versus B. Brian Blair. Jay Strongbow was in action. And David Sammartino versus Colonel De Beers. And the 9:30 showing of for ESPN Classic of UWF has had Paul Orndorff versus Steve Dr. Death Williams. Wrestling legend Bobby Eaton was once again hospitalized this past Sunday due to his continued heart issues. Eaton will remain hospitalized until his heart rate is more stable. WWE Studios production of Leprechaun Origins, starring Hornswoggle as the title character, has hired Zach Lipovsky to direct the film. Currently, the film is scheduled for a March 2014 release. In an update from earlier this month, the name of the movie that John Morrison and Tiny Zeus Lester is filming is actually called Brutal Justice, whom I'm getting injustice on for my daughter. She's wanting to perform wrestling moves on me while doing my video here. You've been dismissed, as Alice Roddy would say. Yeah, she's doing back bumps on the camping mattress. Okay, the formerly name was Get Justice. Well, Morrison plays a police officer. Pro wrestler and booker Buck Robley, a.k.a. Phil Buckley, died on Monday morning from congestive heart failure. He had been battling cancer. Read more on the story on SlamWrestling.com. Robley died in Little Rock, Arkansas. I have not been able to find a date of birth for him, but he got his start pro wrestling in 1968. Robley was a booker for the Mid-South promotion. That part I did not know. Longtime pro wrestler and promoter Eugene Buck Zumhofe was arrested in Kandiyohi County, Minnesota on Monday and is facing several criminal sexual conduct charges, and you can view his mugshot and more details at kandiyohi.mn.us /DEPTS, that's depth, /sheriff, /SO, /LETG, -reports, -custody.html. Zumhofe had his most successful run in AWA promotion in the late 80s, or in the 80s. He also did jobs for WWF and had a brief run in World Class Championship Wrestling that ended prematurely due to his legal issues. He has been promoting shows in the Midwest for many years. Seth Rollins, a.k.a. Kobe Jonathan Lopez, turned 27 years old. He was born May 28, 1986. Lopez previously worked as Tyler Black in the Ring of Honor promotion, where he held the Ring of Honor title and had 2 runs with Jimmy Jacobs as the Ring of Honor Tag Champion. WWE Hall of Famer Roddy Piper will be appearing at tonight's episode of Strong Wars on A&E. NXT star Sami Zayn, formerly El Generico, tweeted the following about the Great Team Hell No versus the Shield match on Monday's Raw. Remember, when watching at WWE Rollins and at WWE Daniel Bryan in the ring together was the best part of Ring of Honor on HDNet. Now it's the best part of Raw. For the fans who have sent an email asking, the official theme song of Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family is called Broken Out in Love by Mark Crozer and the Rails. Word now that Adam Cole and Davey Richards have entered into some kind of agreement and have began the health screening process in hopes of signing talent contracts. Both talents could be in developmental by the summer. Okay, I'm looking. Thank you. Spoilers for NXT tapings for the month of June by Mark Middleton. May 24th, 2013. WWE taped 4 episodes of NXT from Full Sail University in Winter Park, Florida. And heard of full spoilers. Speaking of Winter Park, that's where I had a, back in, the 87 to 2000, I think it was. I had Team USA Finals qualifications where I missed it by, for bowling, I missed it by like 10 pins. Missed it, top 16 by 10 pins. Episode 1 on the NXT airing June 5th. JR hosted NXT title contract signing for the next week between Big E Langston and Bo Dallas. Dallas blamed the NXT title on Big E's success in WWE. Dallas refused to handshake to end the segment. Backstage segment with Corey Graves.
Does these melt?
Yes, ice melts.
And
Okay, Paige beat Tamina Snuka in round 1 of the NXT Women's Title Tournament. Mason Ryan beat Colin Cassidy, for those that don't remember Mason Ryan. Straight Edge Nexus. He was in CM Punk's corner, the Tag Team faction. Conor O'Brien defeated Alex Riley. Alex Riley sent back to NXT. Well, after the match, Rick Victor posed with O'Brien on the stage, the rat face. The Wyatt family defeated Cassius Ohno and Corey Graves with the tag titles on the line. Episode number 2, airing June the 12th. Antonio Cesaro defeated Sami Zayn. Scott Dawson and Garrett Dillon defeated Travis Tyler and Baron Corbin. For those that don't know, this is Kaylin, my daughter. She's 5 years old and wants me to train her for wrestling. Alicia Fox defeated Bayley in round 1 of the NXT Women's Title Tournament. Bo Dallas defeated Big E Langston to become the new NXT champion. Dallas was booed after the match, but cut a babyface promo. And the 3rd episode, airing June the 19th, Adrian Neville defeated Bray Wyatt by disqualification when Luke Harper interfered. Ono and Graves made the save. Dusty Rhodes came out and made a 6-minute for later.
I'm going to turn off that thing.
Alright, get over there. I am sorry, but you're not behaving during the video. I apologize to your fans. Sami Zayn defeated Angelo Dawkins. Summer Rae defeated Sasha Banks in round 1 of NXT's Women's Title Tournament. Xavier Woods defeated Jake Carter. He cut a promo and danced to the ring before the match. The Wyatt family defeated Adrian Neville, Cassius Ohno, and Corey Graves. That concluded episode number 3. And number 4 is airing June the 26th. Biggie Langston defeated Aiden English. Leo Kruger defeated Dante Dash. Bo Dallas beat Mickey Keegan. After the match, Leo Kruger attacked Keegan and had a stare down with Bo. Emma defeated Oksana in round 1 of the NXT Women's Title Tournament. Cassius Ohno and Corey Graves defeated Scott Dawson and Garrett Dillon to become the new number 1 contenders. After the match, the Wyatt family attacked Ohno and Graves. Neville made a save, but was attacked by Dillon and Dawson. The beatdown lasted until William Regal made a save. They overpowered Regal, and the show ended with the faces getting beat down. The vignette for the Wyatt family was shown during Monday's Raw television show. Bray Wyatt leads the group, and his followers, Luke Harper and Eric Rowan, are the current NXT Tag Team Champions. This is an act that I've been waiting to see on the big stage. Wyatt worked as Husky Harris during a previous WWE run, but his new persona is that of a cult leader. Harper worked on the indie scene as Brody Lee. And WWE take the following matches tonight. Calgary to Arrow Superstars, R-Truth versus Antonio Cesaro and Cara. And just a Gabriel tag team versus Darren Young and Titus O'Neil. The 5-time player. Millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. We ain't making no millions of dollars. WWE announced that this week's episode of the main event will feature The Miz and Alberto Del Rio versus Biggie Langston and Wade Barrett. And here's the details of what happened on that. Brad White and Drew Skirben are at the WWE event in Calgary. And would you please sit down before you get hurt? Hurt yourself. If you misbehave, I'm going to ask you to leave the show again. Okay, now get off my neck, please. Okay, they said the Raw event in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, passing on the updates. 4 Superstars tapings. R-Truth defeated Antonio Cesaro in 5 minutes, 17 seconds. The crowd favored Truth with What's Up chants. Quick back and forth match with 3 near falls. R-Truth won with a flatliner. Match number 2, Sakara and Justin Gabriel defeated Primetime Players in 7 minutes, 39 seconds. Match started awkwardly with a few miscommunications. Justin Gabriel and Sakara won with a 450 splash. And now for Raw, they opened up with a Memorial Day tribute video. The show was dedicated to the men and women of the United States Armed Forces who paid the ultimate price of serving for our country. Michael Coleslaw introduced the show and noted that John Cena would appear. And you know who her favorite is? A video recap the last week's show and focus on Curtis Axel and Triple H. And then Ryback challenging John Cena. John Cena's music played and was greeted by a mixed reaction from the crowd. Coleslaw was joined on commentary by Jerry the King Lawler and JBL. Once in the ring, Cena held up the mic to soak up the booze. Cena said it seemed like there was a lot of unrest, anxiety, and maybe a little anger. She wanted a high five on her forehead. Well, it's straightened now, isn't it? Okay. All right. Okay.
Hurry up with the video! Hurry up with
Well,
the
if
video!
you quit interrupting, I think you get it over with. Well, Cena recalled the last man standing match at Extreme Rules and the controversial finish. He said both he and Ryback feel that they deserve the WWE Championship. Did I miss a promo where Ryback said he should be champion? He went right into challenging Cena to the ambulance match from last week. Cena recalled Ryback challenging him to the ambulance match, and audible "We Want Brett" chant started, which Cena stopped and acknowledged. No, please, I'm doing my video.
I'm just going to turn it off.
No, I'm doing my video, please.
I'm just turning that off.
I need this.
No, I mean turning that off.
There, it's off. Okay. Alright, back to the video. Thank you for trying to help. Okay. Alright, okay. Cena mocked Ryback by suggesting that he gets distracted by pretty bright lights. Cena said that the WWE Championship will instead be defended in a 3 stages of hell match. Cena said that I missed that part when I watched it on DVR, so I guess I wasn't paying attention. Cena said the match is so violent that there have only been 3 in WWE history. Cena noted that the match will be the best of 3 falls, with each match having a different stipulation. He said stage 1 will be a lumberjack match, stage 2 will be a tables match, and stage 3 will be an ambulance match. So that's what he was talking about. I did catch that part. I was thinking they already had that. Yeah, that's lumberjack. He's also learning how to read. She's 5 years old. He even pointed out lumberjack. Okay, Ryback walked on the stage and said he tried to drive Cena to hell when he drove him through the lights on the stage. Say hello to Beelzebub. Say hello to Lucifer. Say hello to Satan. He said, John, say hello to Ryback. Who knew Ryback's previous catchphrase was in reference to souls? Paul Heyman walked out and cleared his throat and to get attention as Ryback headed to backstage. Heyman boasted about Curtis Axel beating Triple H so decisively that fans won't be... Yes, she's reading my script here. And so decisively that fans won't be seeing Hunter around anymore. Heyman introduced Axel, who walked up the stage and shook hands with Heyman. Heyman credited Cena with being a fighting champion. Thus, he said he knew Cena wouldn't back down from his challenge, Cena versus Axel, for the first time ever. Cena said that he saw Axel last week and praised him for having guts. He offered Axel the advice of staying as far away from Heyman as possible. He said Heyman is more full of crap than the stable after the Stampede. Axel took the mic and said they didn't ask for his opinion, they asked for what he was looking. If he was looking for a fight, Cena once again praised Axel's guts and said he showed moments of greatness. But he also said Axel got lucky. Cena told Heyman that he had his match for later in the show. Announcer spoke at ringside and hyped the highlight reel with Paul Heyman as a special guest. Alberto Del Rio and Ricardo walked backstage with the stupid bucket. Well, why is he even carrying it? It's just got a towel in it. Heck. He should have been carrying champagne for after his winning. Lawler said Del Rio would try to avenge his loss to Big E Langston from last week as they go to commercial. Axel got lucky because his opponent collapsed and didn't even bother to count him out. Anyway, we should learn a lot about Axel's push tonight. He came off better on the mic with his brief comments tonight than he did last week. Meanwhile, everything feels right back to the normal with Cena despite Extreme Rules spot and Cena selling the injury by not appearing on Raw last week. But he was in the Dark Match main event. Didn't Del Rio avenge his loss to Langston on WWE main event? And then we get an ad airing for 12 Rounds Reloaded, starring Randy Orton. Alberto Del Rio in the first match with Railroad Ricardo Rodriguez, and Stupid Bucket, versus Big E Langston with AJ Lee. During the match, footage aired of Dolph Ziggler speaking from his home on his phone. At 3 minutes 45 seconds in, AJ stood up on the ring apron and removed the top turnbuckle pad. Del Rio applied the crossarm breaker, but Langston powered out. Del Rio shoved Langston into the corner where he struck the exposed turnbuckle, and then Del Rio rolled him up for the win. After the match, AJ threw a fit and yelled that she was trying to help Langston. Big E left the ring with AJ following him. Alberto Del Rio defeated Big E Langston in 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Also hyped Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns versus Kane and Daniel Bryan for the WWE Tag Titles, and Dean Ambrose versus Kofi Kingston for the U.S. title for later in the show. Things are looking up after an announcement of those 2 title matches. I'm pretty sure I heard AJ channel God Bless with a big come on after the match. I'm not sure whether she was pleading with Langston, as the announcer seemed to suggest. Whether it looked like her character was being bitchy and he just kept his cool. We can all relate to that one, guys. Backstage, Daniel Bryan paced in front of Kane, who told him to stop obsessing over the weak link talk. Kane said it had nothing to do with Brian's height. Kane told him that he had to work as a team and Brian has to pull himself together. They did the Borgasm with a yes and no back and forth when they stopped. Bret Hart was in the room and told them that they were one of the best tag team partnerships he's ever seen. He said tension like they have will destroy a tag team. Brian noted that Bret was the smaller guy in the Hart Foundation and asked whether anyone thought he was the weak link. Hart said size has nothing to do with toughness. And Bret said that Brian is one of the toughest he's seen. Bret left the room and Brian was awestruck. Kane questioned why Brian put so much stock in what Bret had said after he had told him the same thing. Brian said, Bret is the best there is, best there was, the best there ever will be. You're just Kane, Brian said before walking off. They announced the Bret Hart Appreciation Night ceremony for WWF after all. Dean Ambrose made his entrance for the U.S. title match, and the Curtis Axel introduction was recapped. Kofi Kingston made his entrance, and we get the second match of the night. Dean Ambrose vs. Kofi for the U.S. title. They cut to an early break early in the match. And then for SmackDown, focus on the Shield after the break. Ambrose was in control and caught Kingston with a clothesline, footage aired of Randy Orton and Sheamus talking backstage while watching the match on the monitor as Kingston came back with a couple of near falls. Ambrose then tripped up Kingston on the ring apron and dumped him face first on the ring steps. Ambrose rolled Kingston back inside the ring and performed his finisher for the clean pin. Ambrose defeated Kofi Kingston in 8 minutes 45 seconds to retain the United States title. The match was quicker and more decisive than I had expected it to be. I guess this means Kingston goes back to smiling on the undercard, which is a shame. Okay, I'm doing the show. You're seeing it live. After the match, Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins came to the ring to celebrate with Ambrose. Kane and Daniel Bryan came out and fought with the Shield. Coleslaw said that the tag title match would begin after the break. So, match number 3, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan and Kane for the WWE Tag title. The match started during the break, of course. Coleslaw noted that it started on the app. Call me crazy, but hyping this going into the break may have been the wiser decision. Kane and Bryan teamed up for the Hart Attack clothesline, which drew a nice ovation from the Calgary crowd. Rollins caught Kane with a kick to the back of his head. Reigns checked in, and briefly then he and Rollins isolated Kane in their corner. Kane performed a suplex on Rollins, who quickly tagged Reigns back into the match to continue to tackle Kane. Footage aired of the Primetime players bitching backstage while they watched the match. Kane eventually made the hot tag to Bryan, while after taking Rollins down with a clothesline, Bryan raced over and dropkicked Reigns off the ring apron. Bryan suplexed Rollins and then caught him with a running kick, drop kick for a 2 count. Bryan fires kicks at Rollins and covered him, but he kicks out. Bryan went to top rope, but Rollins tripped him up. Rollins set up for a superplex, but Bryan avoided it and tied up Rollins in the tree of woe. Bryan delivered the repeated kicks and then a running drop kick. The announcer said Bryan was close to being disqualified. Bryan positioned Rollins on the top rope and caught him with a belly-to-back suplex, heading into a commercial break. After the break, Rollins caught Bryan in the surfboard. Bryan stepped out and kicked him a few times, and Rollins put him down and tagged in Reigns. And Reigns dominated with power before tagging. Rollins' heels continued to isolate Bryan until he made the hot tag to Kane. Kane caught Rollins with a signature offense and had him pinned, but Reigns broke up the pin. Bryan caught Reigns with a missile chop kick that sent him to the floor, and Bryan followed up with a suicide dive. Kane worked over Rollins and went to the top rope and came off with a clothesline. Kane stopped what he was doing to tell him that the referee was on the verge of disqualifying him. Bryan ignored Kane and dove onto Reigns, who caught him and drove him down with a spear. Which, with Kane distracted, Rollins leapt off the top rope, caught Kane with a knee to the head. Ambrose joined his faction mates in the ring 4th post-match celebration. So, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns defeated Kane and Daniel Bryan to retain the tag titles in 18 minutes 35 seconds. Footage aired of John Cena's promo from the starting of the show and Ryback interrupting with some words of his own. The announcers hyped Cena versus Axel and an update on Triple H's condition for later on the show. A good tag title match for the first hour. The announcers did what they could to help the story of Bryan putting his team at risk of a disqualification by addressing it early on, but it felt like they were reaching creatively since the illegal man brawling with the other illegal man never seems to result in a disqualification. It didn't here either, but it just seemed that odd that the announcers... Okay, her surprise egg. Okay, they were suddenly so concerned about it and enjoyed the 2 matches with the Shield, but I can't help but think that WWE just burned through a couple of pay-per-view matches on Raw. A video recapping the Triple H medical situation from last week's Raw. At ringside, Cole said Triple H's injury came from a sledgehammer shot to the jaw. He was instructed not to travel to Raw, however, they are hopeful that Hunter will be able to return to Raw next week. The Miz makes his entrance. Cole said the WWE app users could vote whether Miz could be the guest ring announcer, not commentator, not or referee. There we have a winner of the Wade Barrett versus Fandango match. Let's go to commercial. Unfortunately, there is no option for sending Miz out as a guest actor in another bad WWE Studios production. Actually, I thought his acting was pretty good in his movie for the Marine 3. It's just it didn't have enough action for me to make it worth even watching. I mean, I rented it on Netflix at the Red Box, and it wasn't worth the $50 that I paid, 50 cents that I paid for it. After the break, Jerry the King Lawler read the poll results. 85% guest referee, 10% color commentator, 5% for guest ring announcer. Of course, match number 3, Wade Barrett versus Fandango with Summer Rae with the Miz as guest referee. Cole saw recap Barrett referring to Fandango as a ballerina, as a waste of skin. Later Barrett shoved Miz out of the way. Miz got up and caught Barrett with his finisher and counted Fandango as the win and pinned him. Afterwards, Miz kicked Fandango in the face and counted because Summer Rae fell on top of him right between his legs. So 1, 2, 3. Later, so Fandango pinned the Miz in a minute 45. No, that ain't right. Fandango pinned Barrett in a minute 45 seconds. Announcers hyped the Miz and Alberto Del Rio versus Wade Barrett and Big E Langston during the match. So I guess it was done to help set up the match. Lawler had the non-PG comment of the night as Summer did the split. Oh, you gave me a pie in the face. There's a pie in there. So that's a plate in the face. Okay. Alright. Summer did the splits prior to the match. He said it was times like this that he wishes that he was a wrestling ring. The announcers hyped Cena versus Axel backstage. A bearded Shawn Michaels asked John Cena if he was sure that he wanted to do this. It's a big show. Now she's been listening to Big Show's music. Okay, now you gave me a American flag to my face. Next, try and lift the kitchen sink. Okay, back to the action. Oh, hey, calm down. Why you give me egg face? Well. Bearded Shawn Michaels asked John Cena if he was sure that he wanted to do this. Cena said he doesn't back down from a challenge. HBK said that Triple H doesn't listen to him either. I'm okay right now. I'm doing a video. Reminds me of someone else I know. Cena said, "You," as Michael struggled to find words. Commercial break. Bearded Sean may have secretly followed TNA James Storm many years ago. Let's hope not, as HBK would have been 12 at the time his son was born. Tons of funk, Cameron, Naomi, and Great Khali, Hornswoggle, and Natalia danced in the ring while 3MB stood at ringside. Footage aired from earlier in the day with 3MB trying to get into a private party. They shoved a cake into Hornswoggle's face. Yeah, a big cardboard cake. It was like size like this. He already had it. Everybody knew that wasn't going to happen. He just shoved it into the face, just like you hit me in the nose a while ago. Okay, all right. So, back to the. Okay, you got me again. All right, I fell for it twice. All right. Stop. All right. Coleslaw said that the footage is from the WWE app. Well, that changes everything about my view of the app coverage. Finally, we get Brodus Clay, Sweet Tea, and the Great Khali with Cameron, Naomi, and Hornswoggle and Natalia versus 3MB. 3MB got the better of Tensai early on, but no one cared. Tensai punched Heath Slater and tagged Brodus Clay. No one cared. Clay performed a really nice suplex on Slater. No one cared. He spiked Slater in the corner. A few people cared. Later, Khali chopped Slater, and Clay followed up with a splash for the win. After the match, Clay said it was a special night because it's Natalia's birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Clay,
Happy birthday to you.
Clay,
Happy birthday to him. Happy birthday to you.
It was Natalia. I'm supposed to say happy birthday to Natalia. Happy birthday to you. Alright, well there's your happy birthday, Natalia, from my daughter. Alright, back to the event after the match. Clay introduced Khali to sing happy birthday. What a sucky way to sing happy birthday, I think. And the winner, by virtual of Best Singer, Caitlin. Beats out Khali any day of the week. Heck, I could beat out Khali. Well, Sweet Tea looked like he was expecting the mic. Khali sang happy birthday song. Vince McMahon laughed his ass off. Wherever he was, no one else cared. They all danced like jackasses in the horrible segment. And the match only took 3 minutes and 5 seconds. Coleslaw plugged the Bret Hart Appreciation Night ceremony for After All on the app. The shot aired to Paul Heyman headed to the ring for his interview with Chris Jericho. I'd like to cast my vote for WWE putting anything involving 3MB, Tons of Funk, Great Khali, and Hornswoggle on the app in favor of airing segments like Bret Hart Appreciation Night on Raw rather than on the app. A John Cena narrated video focused on WWE's work with the troops via tribute to troop shows. Chris Jericho makes his entrance for the highlight reel. Of course, he's with his light bright jacket, and introduced Paul Heyman as his guest. Jericho said Heyman has been called many things, from a genius to a walrus, during his career. Jericho said Heyman has always had a knack for aligning himself with tremendous talent. Heyman said he doesn't just align, he discovers and develops great talent. Heyman cited Jericho as an example of the talent he discovered and developed. He took credit for giving Jericho his first break. That's true, Paul. You gave me my first break. And you still owe me money, too. Jericho fired back. Heyman said that he waived his fee to appear on the highlight reel to make up for it. Heyman turned the focus to Curtis Axel and his match with John Cena. Jericho said he has been a fan of Axel for a long time and feels he has potential. However, Jericho said he wanted to talk about Heyman's other client. Heyman blurted out a loud Brock Lesnar and started to sing his praises. Paul, would you please shut the hell up, said Jericho. He said he doesn't want to talk about Axel or what Lesnar is doing on his spring break. Jericho said he wants to talk about the other client, CM Punk. Jericho noted that Punk has been absent from Raw for 6 weeks, and then footage aired of Punk walking out of Raw last month. Jericho noted that Heyman was wearing the same suit in the video. He was wearing it during the segment, as he said he hoped he had washed it or dry cleaned it. Jericho said Heyman had the same look on his face as when Punk made the announcement, meaning he shocked and surprised him all along with the rest of the world. Heyman said he was happy that Jericho brought it up because this is my favorite suit. Funny. The fans chanted walrus. Jericho pushed for more by simply saying, and Heyman said he dominated WWE like no other champion before him, and he did have to say stupid things like best there is, best there was, best there ever will be. Jericho went into Bob low blow mode and then demanded to know where Punk is. Heyman said he and his client will have an announcement on Raw regarding the return of the best in the world. Jericho said Punk can't sit home for 6 weeks and still be referred to the best in the world. Heyman said he has a client in Chicago who would disagree. After the video, Jericho acted surprised that Punk was acting and mockingly said hello to him. Jericho noted that the next WWE pay-per-view is also in Chicago. He once again stated that Punk can't be referred to as the best in the world for taking his ball and going home. Jericho said that there were just as many Jerichoholics in Calgary who would say he is the best. Heyman cut him off before he could finish the line. Heyman said it's not Jericho's to say, and it's not his right to claim that title. Jericho said Punk can't claim it either unless he wants to go to WWE Payback to face him one-on-one. Heyman said Jericho doesn't get to dictate the terms to he and Punk. Jericho encouraged the fans to join him in saying that he is the best in the world at what he does. And now Y2J chant broke out. Heyman said that he guesses that's called pulling his Punk card. Heyman said Jericho wants a match against Punk in Chicago Payback. On behalf of my client, CM Punk, I accept. As Heyman said, Heyman offered his hand and Jericho shook it. Jericho pulled Heyman in close and told Punk that after Payback he will never, ever be the same again. And earlier in the day, on Monday, that CM Punk did mention that he hates wrestling now. I don't know why he said that. Just go to his Facebook and you can see why he said that. Punk was advertised for this week's Raw and next week's Raw at one point. If WWE wants to sell the pay-per-view, they should hold off on having Punk appear on television beforehand. We've definitely been down this road with Punk versus Jericho before, but they work well together, and it's always fun to see Punk work in front of his rabid hometown fans. The announcer congratulated Rock on the success of Fast and the Furious latest movie and noted that it was the third straight movie of his to open #1. Caitlyn and Natalya, not my daughter, and Natalya versus the Bella Twins. Caitlyn, who wore an unflattering outfit, sold for the heels and then made the hot tag to Natalya, who applied the sharpshooter for a big pop. The other Bella broke up the sharpshooter, and Caitlyn tried to spear Bella, but she moved, and Caitlyn speared Natalya instead, which led to the pinfall. Bellas were singing happy birthday to Natalya after the match and called her a loser, as she cried. Bella Twins defeated Caitlyn and Natalya in 3 minutes 40 seconds. Of course, Divas matches are normally not that long. I developed a serious disconnect with Natalya a long time ago. It's hard to care when a character who is constantly abused cries over being picked up in such a childish manner. Natalya's crying because the Bellas mocked her may have set the women's movement back 25 years. Backstage, Bret Hart told Curtis Axel he looks like his father. They spoke briefly about Bret versus Mr. Perfect feud. Hart told Axel to get Paul Heyman out of his corner. Axel said Brett doesn't know anything about him. He said Heyman is the only one who believes in him. He told Brett to enjoy his appreciation night while he defeats the WWE champion as they go to commercial. A vignette aired for NXT wrestler Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family. That's the part that I missed. But I did see a the scrolling marquee at the bottom of the screen later on in the show. Creepy and twisted. Here's hoping we get more of that and Zero Duck Dynasty inspired nonsense. Wyatt's real name is Wyndham Rotunda. And he worked previously as Husky Harris, as I told you earlier. Randy Orton and Sheamus versus Rhodes Scholars, Cody Rhodes and Damon Sandow. Lawler mocked Cody's tan and said it was the same color as Sheamus' hair. Ouch! They found held up a "Where's Christian" sign in the crowd. The Hills worked over Sheamus heading into the break. This appears to be another step towards Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton and Sheamus feud. I'm curious to see where this leads Kane and Daniel Bryan, and whether Orton eventually turns on Sheamus. She wants to get her impersonation of Vicky Guerrero yet again, and give you the microphone, the invisible microphone. Now say it.
Excuse me.
There you go. Now, for the 15th time. Okay, after the break, Orton set up for the arcade. Set up for the RKO with Sano, but Cody pulled his partner from the ring. Orton ended up being ran into the ring post when the footage aired from the app, while Paul Heyman giving Curtis Axel a pep talk. The Hills got a couple of 2 counts on Orton that no one took seriously. Orton eventually made a hot tag to Sheamus, but he ate a beautiful Destiny kick for Cody, and Sandow scored a 2 count. Orton whipped Cody into a timekeeper's area, and Sheamus hit white noise on Sandow. Sheamus followed up with a brogue kick for the win. A good tag match. That would have seemed better if the viewers had not been conditioned to view Rhodes Scholars as jokes. Heck, they've shown us there's parity between Rhodes Scholars and Tongues of Funk. Rhodes Scholars really should have had a tag title run by now, but instead they feel like a main roster enhancement team, which is a real shame. And now to hype John Cena versus Kurt Axel after the break. An ad for SmackDown helped hype Dean Ambrose versus Randy Orton. Oh crap, no title mention. Here's hoping this match is being booked to show us that this title reign is different and that U.S. champion doesn't automatically lose to Orton, Sheamus, or a world champion in any champion versus champion match. And now to hype the WWE Payback pay-per-view, as Coleslaw said, Cena versus Ryback will meet in the fourth three stages of Hell match. Oddly enough, they did not mention the CM Punk versus Chris Jericho match. Not guaranteed yet. Okay, match number 8. Cena versus Axel with Paul Heyman, a non-title match. Axel's entrance name has changed already. There didn't seem to be any traces of Mr. Perfect theme. Axel grabbed a headlock early on. Cena came back with an arm drag. Axel fled to ringside, heading into a commercial break. Axel ran Cena into the ring steps after the break. Axel suplexed Cena and covered him for the throwaway 2 count. Axel worked on Cena's left arm. As the show goes past the 10 o'clock hour, Cena slowly got to his feet. Axel missed the clothesline, but Axel came right back with a shot to the back of the head. That put Cena down again. There were dueling chants for Cena. Cena came back with a signature offense, including the 5-knuckle shuffle. Cena went for attitude adjustment, but Axel slipped out and caught him with a drop kick. Later, Axel caught Cena with a snapmare and followed up with a kick for a 2 count. Cena came back with STF and an attitude adjustment attempt, but Axel avoided it and caught Cena with a perfect flex for a 2 count. Yeah, and Cena kicks out of the perfect flex. Axel missed a move in the corner, and Cena caught him with a clothesline. An ambulance siren that could be heard. An ambulance was driven inside the arena. Down just below the stage again, and Cena left the ring and approached the ambulance and got counted out. So Axel won by count out. Cena opened the doors of the ambulance and no Ryback. Suddenly, Ryback attacked him from behind. The fans chanted, "Goldberg!" Bret Hart just flinched. Cena dodged Ryback's clothesline. Then Ryback avoided attitude adjustment and headed backstage. In the ring, Curtis Axel was named the winner and held up 2 fingers to boast that he was 2-0 to close the show. I don't know how much of a non-finish with Triple H and a count-out win over John Cena really does for Curtis Axel, but obviously it beats losing to both men. If nothing else, it makes viewers want to see him get beat. I haven't seen anything over the last 2 weeks to make me think that this guy is destined for greatness. I'm still not convinced that he has the it factor to be truly special. Not just yet, because he hasn't been given it. But I'm still enjoying the ride to wherever they are going with it. Because if they're giving him the push, why don't they just bring a Ryback? Alex Riley. Overall, a flat show. It's probably what it should have been on a holiday edition. It was one of those shows where nothing really happened, that those who missed the show will be kicking themselves over. And then a quick on-site report from a fan in attendance. Mustafa Moshin attended Monday's Raw in Calgary and sent the following for everything. It was really hard to find a parking spot at the event. They arrived 5 minutes before the scheduled event. The floor was sold out. Most of the lower bowl was sold out as well. I'd say 75% of the arena was full. 5 minutes before they switched to Raw, a huge orgasm chant broke out. They plugged WWE 13 and the crowd were chanting CM Punk as Coleslaw came out to a loud boo for sure. JBL got a huge pop where Jerry Lawler killed them both with a huge pop. And the Jerry chant, Justin Roberts announced that we are going live in 90 seconds. And we want Brett chant started. Let's go Cena. Cena sucks chant broke out until we went live. The crowd was hot so far. Cena came out to a 40% boos and 60% cheers. The crowd broke into the We Want Brett. And we were live and We Want Tables chant started out. Ryback got the Goldberg treatment and the what treatment. Paul Heyman got a short-lived pop, but got drowned by boos. Cena's comment about the Stampede got huge laughs from the people. I couldn't agree more that the comment won the crowd over, and that's when we started the "You Suck" chant toward Curtis Axel. During a break, Roberts recapped the 1991 match between Hart and Mr. Perfect, which got a huge pop. Right after that, another strong We Want Brett chant started. Ricardo Rodriguez got a decent pop. They followed his lines along. At the end of the match, there's an AJ is crazy chant broke out. During commercials, another orgasm chant broke out. Also, WWE Divas promo was shown and was booed for our section. Some guy yelled bathroom break from their section, which was funny. When Bret Hart came out, or after the for the Hell No section, we heard the loudest pop so far. Seriously, Canadians, myself included, just love this guy no matter what. He's a legend here in our country. It was a cool moment, as this is the second time I've ever seen Bret Hart live. After Dean Ambrose's entrance, we went to commercial, and the announcers. They went to commercial, and the crowd in the lower bowl was chanting Ambrose, Ambrose. Cairo was literally about 10 feet away, and it startled the entire section, with half of them quickly covering for their ears. Once the match started, a Let's Go Ambrose chant broke out with the same section. I'm not stating the obvious here, but again, this match was almost the exact same pace and moves as the house show yesterday. Almost as though the house shows are practiced exactly. Let's Go Ambrose chant seemed to get louder afterwards. As I was getting ready for Kane Pyro, sure enough, the crowd loved Daniel Bryan. The security was trying to find the guy who was blowing the air horn. Kane got a big pop when he came in. The entire section tried to start an awkward Benoit chant that never got picked up. Instead, we got a JBL chant. Michael Cole started as well as... I'm not sure, but it came across how it came across, but because it was an audible but faint. After the suplex off the turnbuckle, the crowd was chanting, "This is awesome," as well as which got stronger later on. I'm very impressed of how the crowd was staying entertaining during the match. This Canadian crowd loves the orgasm moment. And for more importantly, Team Hell No in general, by the way, the security is trying to find the guy with the air horn. There were more highlights from Bret's career. This time we saw footage from the Iron Man match with Shawn Michaels, which followed a fake U-screw Bret. We went to the Bret bathrooms after that. And merchandise stands were sold out of Bret Hart shades, small and medium Bret Hart shirts. Miz got a pop. That's an awkward moment. Wade Barrett, God Save the Queen, got a mixed reaction from the Canadian crowd because, as you know, the Queen is the head of Canada, so we couldn't respectfully boo. But Fandango really got everyone fandangoing, myself included, as they normally do. The crowd didn't stop singing his theme song until literally the music stopped, and it was famous then as well. Shortly into the match, they started fandangoing again. Shortly after his victory, they started fandangoing again. The guys were all whistling for Fandango's answer afterwards. HBK got a huge pop. The section across did a very faint "You Screw Bret" chant, and it was drowned by HBK chant. Great Khali is huge. He's a big guy, but you have to see him in person to really understand this. The crowd was hot for him. For sure, Brodus Clay got a decent pop as well. The crowd was, at least in my section, really didn't anticipate pyros very well. Crowd in the lower bowl were chanting 3MB. The crowd saying happy birthday to Natalya. And Khali was awesome. During the break, the Y2J, as they were chanting the Matt Roberts, showed the British Bulldog versus Bret Hart highlights from the SummerSlam match, which received well with the crowd. And the WWE Brawling Buddies commercial got the crowd chanting blow up dolls, which is funny. Y2J chants resumed until Jericho came in. The crowd was on their feet and was very hot for Jericho. There were ECW chants started and then a Walrus chant. When Jericho asked about his other client, the crowd started immediately for CM Punk before Heyman could even say Brock Lesnar. We were pro-Punk for sure. Someone tried to start an ice cream bar chant. Walrus chant definitely picked up, and the crowd was all engaged during the entire segment. Natalya got a big pop from her at the beginning of her entrance. Some audible whistles as well. Quick update on the air horn dude. He was escorted by security during commercial. They plugged the Rock and Fast and Furious 6 as well, which got a good reaction from the crowd. And look for Fast and Furious 7 to be filming very soon. Celebrity Horrors, thanks Jason, came out to a very small, actually whistles. Otherwise, the crowd began making their way towards the washroom. A happy birthday chant broke out for Natalya right after that. I don't know if she caught it, but some group was chanting, I love boob jobs. The match was most quiet in terms of crowd activity, or at least compared to what it has been throughout the night, until the sharpshooter. Another pop for Bret Hart. Not as loud as it was this time because people were getting back from the washroom. There was a recap of Hart and Ric Flair match. The crowd was wooing throughout the crowd. Pop for Randy Orton and Sheamus. Got an equal reaction to Orton as Cody's mustache chant broke out. There was also a Goldust chant. The match seemed to be dragging, but was still entertaining, as I was very pleased with the crowd's input thus far. Sheamus and Orton took some time taking hands with the fans after their match. And Justin Roberts plugged in HBK versus Hart from Montreal with the screw job boos. During the highlight, You Screw Bret chant started, and they played Bret's return in 2010 and them burying the hatchet, which scene got cheers. I felt that Cena's second entrance was 60% boos and 40% cheers. This time around, some fans were screaming, your shirt sucked, followed by Let's Go Cena, Cena sucked. I don't know if it came on TV, but there was a Walrus chant. I heard it, yeah, and Fruity Pebbles. Another same old shit crap chant began. There was a huge crowd of security in the lower bowl for an overweight woman and 3 guys. I'm not sure what went on there, but the crowd reacted to it. I later found out that it was a fight. No one was watching the entire the match. It was the security and what appeared to be a full-on fight down there. They got it under control when Cena was hitting the 5-knuckle shuffle. The ambulance started the crowd. We actually thought it was for the fight that took downstairs. Anyways, Ryback got the Goldberg treatment again. The reporter's girlfriend, Kelsey McSween, noted that it was a fake ambulance or WWE special ambulance because in Canada they aren't called paramedics. Interesting. Bret Hart Appreciation Night celebration was obviously what everyone was waiting for. And when it finally came on, not a single crowd member was sitting. All cheers. They announced that May 27th to be Bret Hart Day. And a very cool moment for all Canadians. Interesting fact, Calgarians actually hate their mayor. There were cool moments with Pat Patterson and Chris Jericho got a huge pop. Here's another interesting fact. Vince got a bigger pop than Shawn Michaels. I think because no one was expecting him, the crowd continued to be active throughout the event. It made all Canadians proud for sure. An amazing show and even the better crowd.
It's a video microphone.
Yeah, thank you for giving it back to me. I forgot I gave it to you. Well, that concludes my show for this week. Thanks and have a great week. And stay tuned for SmackDown spoilers.